The rest of the groups are working with a software solution that was very generously recently donated back in the fall, beginning of the semester to us from Avery Dennison. Their Atma.io cloud solution has been provided to the lab here. And so the students were required to develop some solutions around that. Some of them were just to give them the experience, and some of them were actual, hey, I need this activity, I need that functionality type of a scenario. And so the students have attempted to do that. And then for the Atma.io folks, I'm still learning it. And so please be a little bit gentle on your critiques of, well, why'd you do this? And why didn't you do that? And how do you do something else? Because the probable answer is none of us know yet. And we're all still learning.
All right. Hello. So my name is Hunter McWilliams. I'm a senior here at the University of Memphis. I'm an ET major. I actually will graduate Sunday, hopefully. So we have two applications for you today. We have a reset demo, which will reset our boxes in Atma.io for our demonstrations, and the shipping label, which will actually put a shipping label inside of the boxes so that we can tie them together for whenever we ship the boxes.
Hey, my name is Ali Hinton. I'm a senior as well. I'll be graduating next semester in May as a mechanical and also automation robotics major. So we are going to Atma.io page. Let's get everything set up. Okay, they go to reset demo interface. So on the Atma.io, it shows the card ID, also with the source with University of Memphis, but also the audited status. Some are in progress and some are in confirmed, and there's a few that's in created. When we go to the reset demo, it will show the box numbers along with the statuses. And once you click on the big red button, the reset button, give it a few seconds because it's taking a little while.
So as you notice, it does take a while to do this. The reason it does that is because it has to go box by box, and it has to actually update Atma.io as it is doing this. So you will see that some of these are in progress, some of these are in confirmed. The confirmed boxes, there is actually a sequence to have them set to that. So you go from created to in progress to confirmed, right? So to go backwards, back to created, you have to go from confirmed to in progress and then back to created. Because of this, there is that communication that messes with things. So as you can see, it sets back up, and they are all set back to created here and here. And if you pull this up and just refresh, it will show over here on the right, whenever it actually works, that these have all been set back to created. So the way that it does this is it gets the list of all the cartons. They're called cartons in Atma.io, not boxes. It gets a list of all the cartons that gives us a whole bunch of information, including the ID as well as the status. We then take that, go carton by carton, and then slowly reset them back to the beginning. So is there any questions about that? Yeah. So this one is relatively simple. And if we go to our next program,
this is shipping label tracking form where it shows the SG10 and the box ID. We will be copying the data from the Atma.io.
So as you can see, this will actually be the box that we will be using. There is no shipping label in here, and it is currently set to created. But here,
As he's copying and pasting, we couldn't actually copy paste from Atma.io for some odd reason. But once he entered the data inside, we click on submit. It gives us a little wait time as well. change for you.
I don't know why it's not updating on the data grid view, but it is updating here. So whenever you hit submit, what that does is it takes this FedEx shipper shipping label that is over here under another section that has already been set up. It just puts that as an item inside of the box. The reason we do this is because in AppMyO, there isn't a current way to put a relationship between the shipping label and the box. So this is just putting them together in one place so you can tell which shipping label goes with which box. And then we just set it the status to shipped over here. The one problem with the shipped status is it actually cannot go back. It cannot be reset. So once you set it to shipped, that's it. You can't go back to created. You can't, like, that box is done. So is there any questions?
Do that. First of all, thank you, because any kind of feedback on what Atma could do better. For example, exactly what you have there on resets, the association of the SKU or the order to the shipper, all that's very valuable. So I'm taking notes, and I'd love to have you guys in front of our Atma team for them to hear directly the feedback. That's just an invitation. Thank you. From a real world perspective, I'm talking to shippers today that this is a valuable thing, right? It's not the shipment, it's providing the customer visibility of, hey, I shipped this, and I have proof that what is in that order is related to that shipment is very important. And to do that in automated ways. So thank you for that. So it's really just more of a comment, but anything as you all went through the project that is like ancillary feedback about where we could improve at, we're all yours.
Thank you.
As far as Atma itself goes, I don't have anything. I will say for the documentation, because I did have a bit of trouble figuring out how to actually put this information in here. For the status, it was relatively simple, but for the item, putting an item for this shipping label to actually go inside of the item, just adding a single item without creating a whole new box, it took me a very long time to actually figure out how to put that together. That was really that was the biggest issue that I had with writing this code, was getting that item to actually go inside. But everything else, actually running AppMyO and checking everything was relatively simple. So.
And so the reset functionality, just so everyone understands, the reason that it wouldn't normally exist in AppMyO is, why are you resetting your boxes? What the? No, that's called cheating. The authorities tend to not like that. I don't know, something about financial fraud or something, I don't know. But from a demo perspective, from the perspective of this lab, that's kind of a function we almost can't live without, because if we don't reset those boxes, we have to come up with new sets of labels, new sets of contents for every time we run the demo. And that is possible, but it's not real practical, and get really expensive, because either we're having to buy more materials or faking it. And so, yeah, so just keep in the back of your head that some of the stuff that you're going to see may not be things that are needed for industry outside of at their facility in Miamisburg. Avery might need the same functionality so they can reset their demos. But other than that, it's not an academic thing, but more of a demo thing.
That was also why that UI was it was extremely simple. Honestly, whenever I was starting designing the UI, I honestly just wanted to put a big red button. That was the only thing on there. But I was like, maybe you should actually see and make sure that you're getting the information from Atmio. Because a lot of times what the people who will be resetting the demo in this lab will be student workers. And the less buttons that they can mess up with the better.
That one of the applications that is gaining a lot of interest to build on top of that is RTI management. So returnable transport item management. So think about reusable bulk containers or totes or something like that. So if you think about what you said, Kevin, I totally agree. But if you have an asset that is registered and it's going to come back through the organization, that reset, while maybe the way it's embodied in this might not be a perfect fit, but if you think about the fundamentals of what you're doing there, yes, you do want to have a new life cycle when the tote comes back. So it's just something to think about.
Yeah, no, that's definitely not something I had considered it as I was making that statement. So good point. And that's probably something I should have thought about because I'm actually talking about RTIs with someone else currently anyway, in that use case model. So didn't cross my mind, but yeah. And then that's something that probably the developers at Avery need to think about, because if it goes to shipped, which is the logical tag for it, how do you receive it back in?